Okay, students, so we have been studying about the digestion in human beings and we have been discussing about the parts of the alimentary canal. So we have already seen how digestion takes place in the small intestine. So we let us discuss about, and I already told you that in the small intestine two processes takes place. Number one is completion of digestion that we have already studied in the last class, and today we are going to study how absorption of the digested food takes place. Okay, so we have already studied about how digestion takes place, and if you see here on this side we have already studied that because of the three types of digestive juices are there present in the small intestine. So what are the three types of digestive juices? Number one, bile juice, pancreatic juice, and the third one is intestinal juice. And then we have seen already the functions of the bile juice, pancreatic juice, and the intestinal juice. So the finally the food is digested, or whatever we have eaten, whatever carbohydrates we have eaten, they are digested and they form the simplest substance called as glucose. So glucose is formed after the digestion of the carbohydrates, and then we see amino acids are there which are formed after the digestion of the proteins, and then we see fatty acid and glycerol are formed after the digestion of the fat. So in this part of the chapter we are going to study how these substances are absorbed by the small intestine. Absorption of digested food, or we can say that how small intestine is designed to absorb the digested food. This question comes many times: how small intestine is designed to absorb the digested food, or how food is absorbed by the small intestine. Now, if we see the inner side of the small intestine, suppose this is I am making a small intestine just for your convenience. If you see the inner side of the small intestine, it has got various finger like structures. As you can see here in the diagram, I am just making a various finger like structures are there. Okay, so you can see I will enlarge one of the finger like structure. So this is a finger like structure are there, and they are called as, these finger like structure are called as villi. So villi is plural, villi is plural, singular is villus. So one is called as villus and then plural is called as. Now these finger like structures, what they do, these villi, what they do, they increases the surface area for the absorption. So number one, they increase the surface area. Number two, they are richly supplied with the blood. Richly supplied with blood vessels. So they are richly supplied with the blood vessels. If I make the blood vessels with the red color, so they have lots of blood vessels are there. Okay, and then this moves to the next villi. So this is a blood vessel. As soon as the food is absorbed by the villi, it goes into the blood vessels, and through the blood vessels it goes to the different parts of the body. So if you see in your NCERT textbook, you can see I have already underlined here, digested food is taken up by the walls of the small intestine. The inner lining of the small intestine has numerous finger-like projections or structures called as villi. What they do actually, they increase the surface area for the absorption of the digested food, number one, and they are richly supplied with the blood vessels, which take the absorbed food to each and every cell of the body, where it is utilized for obtaining energy and for other purposes. So this is how the food is absorbed by the small intestine. So small intestine has got, this is one villi I have, this is villus. Okay, and it is richly supplied with the blood vessels, so they increase the surface area for the absorption of the digested food, and they have lot of blood vessels so that the food can be easily passed. Okay, now let us talk about one more thing here. Let us compare the small intestine of herbivores and carnivores. So let us do comparison of small intestine of herbivores and carnivores. Okay, now herbivores, what they eat, as the name is there, herb comes from the plants. So what they eat? Plants. Herbivores like uh, cow, deer, okay, goat, they all eat plants. Now let us compare their small intestine with that of carnivores. Now if I ask you a question, very simple question, which food get digested easily? Okay, now herbivores eat plants and carnivores eat flesh. So what do you think? Which of this is digested easily, whether it is flesh or plants? Commonly people think that flesh is hard to digest. It does not get easily digested. And plants is easily digested by the small intestine or by the organisms. So that is a wrong concept. Now why it is a wrong concept? Let us try to understand this. Now herbivores eat plants, and plants have got cellulose. Do you know we digest cellulose? Human beings can digest cellulose. Do you know that? Human beings cannot digest cellulose because we don't have enzymes to digest that. And even those organisms which are herbivores, they are not digesting the cellulose easily. They can digest the cellulose, but they have to chew the food again and again. You might have seen cow, goat sitting after taking the grass, after grazing the grass, they sit there under the shade and then they chew it again. So they chew it many times. Okay, why? Because the plants contain cellulose and cellulose cannot be easily digestible, so they take more time to digest cellulose. Okay, that is why cellulose is difficult difficult to digest. Cellulose is difficult to digest. So these herbivores take herbivores take more time to digest, and that is why they have longer small intestine. So now you can see the herbivores have longer small intestine. Why? Because they eat plants and plants have cellulose, and that cellulose cannot be easily digested, and because of that they take more time to digest, and that is why they have longer small intestine. Let us talk about the carnivores. They eat flesh. Now this flesh is easily digestible. Okay, and it takes less time. Easily digestible means take less time to digest, so they have shorter small intestine. I hope this is clear. Now this is given in the NCERT, as you can see here. I will just uh, make you to read it. You can underline in your NCERT from here to here. What is written here? Let us read. The length of the small intestine differs in various animals depending on the food they eat. Herbivores eating grass need longer small intestine to allow the cellulose to be digested. Meat is easier to digest, so carnivores like tigers and have a shorter small intestine. So this is about the comparison of small intestine of herbivores and carnivores. Now let us try to understand one more thing here is what happens after the food is digested by the small intestine, the undigested food. What happens to that undigested food? Okay, now the food is absorbed by the small intestine. We have already seen that the food is absorbed by the small intestine, and then the undigested food, undigested or unabsorbed. Now all the food is not absorbed, some of the food is not absorbed, and that is the unabsorbed food, and that is the undigested food, then passes from small intestine to the next part, that is called as the large intestine. Okay, so we are going to study about the next part of the alimentary canal, that is called as the large intestine. Now what happens in the large intestine? Let us try to understand that. So some of the major activities take place in the large intestine. What are the major activities taking place in the large intestine? Number one is that water is absorbed by the large intestine. Water is absorbed by the large intestine. So water is absorbed by the large intestine. So what will happen to the food? It will change into a semi solid structure called as feces, or we also called it as human excreta. So the food is converted into a semi-solid structure in the large intestine. How? Water is absorbed from it, and thus it is converted into a semi-solid structure called as human excreta and feces. And this is stored in the last part of the large intestine called as rectum. So this feces is stored in rectum. It is the last part of the small large intestine called as rectum, and here the food is stored temporarily for a short period of time. And then when the rectum is full, then what happens? Through the peristaltic movements, the food or this the feces, human excreta, is moved out of the anus through anal sphincter out of the body. And what we call it as? We call it as egestion. Okay, so the human excreta, when the rectum is full, then this human excreta is moved out of the anus through the through the anal sphincter, and then out of the anal it goes out of the body, and then this is called as egestion. Now if you see in the last part of this paragraph, the unabsorbed food. Okay, the unabsorbed food is sent to the large intestine where it will absorb more water from this material. Then it changes into a semi-solid structure called as feces, and the rest of the material is removed from the body by the anus through the anal sphincter. It is written here, the exit of the waste is regulated by anal sphincter. So this is the completion of digestion in human beings. Now I want you to write down the uh, up to here. I want you to write down the in-text question and answers. Okay, and do your work properly and do it on time, and utilize this time. Don't waste the time. Thank you, students.